Special good morning to one and all. Good morning to those of you listening via Classic Radio 105.5 or 105.9. Those of you who are viewing GBN TV, whether it's Channel 7, Channel 11 or Channels 20. Good morning and welcome to another edition of To The Point. Today, Friday, the 15th day of September 2023. I'm your host, GT, just in case you forgotten who it is on the radio. It's GT with you folks. I've been running with you until it's 10 a.m. this morning, and it's another edition of To The Point and an open line edition this morning once again. We have no guest in studio, so we just give the opportunity to you loyal listeners and viewers out there the opportunity to call in, express your views and concern. And today I'm urging you, of course, make your point and be direct about it, and of course move on, please, of course, and keep it as short as possible. Once again, I'm requesting for you viewers and listeners out there, when you're calling in, please lower whatever device you have in the background, whether it's your phone, not see your phone, but your radio, your television, whatever device is in the background that's going to cause a feedback or, of course, some kind of distraction. Please have it turned off, please, when you're calling. You could certainly have a discussion with me, or whatever you have to say, we can say it via the telephone. You certainly can hear me via the telephone, and that will make things run smoothly. Once again, good morning to my social media, of course, listeners and viewers, those of you via our Facebook page, good morning, GBN's Facebook page. Those of you who are listening via YouTube channels also, good morning, and certainly welcome. Let's entertain our very first caller this morning. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yeah, morning, GT, and morning to your listeners and their viewers.
How are you doing this morning, sir?
Because I wanted to make a point on the earlier program, the first, not the second one that they were saying that, but the one where the educators was. Mm-hmm. Because while I agree with most of what they said, in fact, I couldn't believe hearing some of the things that was said, because these are things I was been saying for years. And sometimes when I say that, people say, oh, you're ridiculous, and they try to ridicule me and so on. But I heard one of the presenters say about, in the end, what we create, producing is educated fools. I mean, based on the conversation you were having, and to me, I've been using the word idiot.
Well, I didn't get a chance to follow on the program this morning, so I can't comment much on it. I didn't get a chance to follow through.
People who would listen and know who would follow on. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to raise that because, and in fact, we need more of these kind of conversations, because, see, we have a lot of misconception about education. For instance, we educate people vicariously. We put them in a room and expect them to learn the same thing. I call that standardized learning or standardized instruction. Mm-hmm. Rather than have this person or persons decide what they want to learn and how they want to learn it, we put them in a room and with uniforms and everything like that, because we want a uniform product. And we don't understand that the education system that we are still practicing, according to Sir Ken Robinson, that is, we had when colonialism evolved in these parts, and we haven't corrected that so far. Right. One of the people spoke about singing as a means of as an instrument of teaching. You know, remember Chuck Duss saying in a seminar I had organized with Calypsonian years ago, why it is that teachers don't use calypsos as a means of teaching poetry? Because in a way, calypsos are poetry. In fact, I have also said, when cricket was a mean sport for us, it's no longer. It's just, because money have taken over. Why do you not use cricket as a means to teach a variety of subjects, whether it's maths, English, languages, because different cricketing playing teams have different language. Why not use that to teach about the weather? Not in the school system, and they was domesticated in the way that our students are still being domesticated. But I know, GT, and I don't want to abuse my privilege that I can't say wrong, but the point I want to make, the final point, is that this morning in the collection of subjects that was felt necessary, I thought that among those I was missing, and all these talk about this important one, maybe there are other missing, is a foreign language. We need to ensure that our people can speak more than one language in this part. We're still following the British. The British only taught us to teach warnings, unlike the Dutch, where in Suriname or Curacao and so on, the folks are able to speak more than one language. We need to do that. We have Spanish, we have French, we have Dutch, and of course, we have American too, but we don't need to learn that in school.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Always interesting contribution from you. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a number you can call and, of course, be part of To The Point. Let's go to the phone line and entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning, Suzuki.
How are you this morning, sir?
Have a good day.
All right.
To pick up on what Mr. Antoine said, and yes, he's right. What do we educate for? What is the end result of the education, the information received? We stay in what we call theory. We're not creative. We stay in theory. When would we transform the theory into practical, where we take the information we have and do something that we could show with our hands, and so that's where we are. We are just going around and around and around, and all we get is chaos and confusion because we quarrel with one another. We don't discuss, we quarrel with one another every step of the way. Is that what the education system should do, or the education received should do? Should it be used for where we have harmony and peace and development of ourselves? So the gentleman is very right. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. And it seemed to be the dominating conversation thus far from my first two callers, education. And the first two callers saying they're looking for a different approach towards education. That's interesting. Are we going to go along with that, the theoretical part of education, or we think a more practical approach, or some other approach towards education that will certainly make a whole lot of difference for this beautiful Spice Isle of ours? Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. I've always said that I'm right. That's my knowledge. That's my opinion. So I'm not saying right. I always say that education is fit to live and fit to live with. In other words, you should be able to adapt yourself to your surroundings. In other words, perhaps if a man is talking about things in reality, you should be able to talk or about that too. So you are fit to live and fit. You should know when to curse, even know when to fight, know if not to fight, know if to run away from fighting, know if a man asks you 2 and 2, or he asks you about Pythagoras theorem, I don't even know what that means. You should be able to apply it. Because if you're a joiner or a carpenter, you should be able to use that. In fact, I think I said that already. A young boy, he came from England, and he was talking to me, and he learned that a square is like a box in Grenada. I asked him, I said, tell me something. You never heard him say this lady bam bam square we? He started to laugh. I also asked him, you never heard him say this whole square we? How do you all look up Zoki? He started to laugh. And you know what he tell me? Come, sir, come and teach us. He was going to a secondary school. In other words, maybe his experience or his knowledge of square widens. People in Grenada, even have listened to some of these teachers that are on program, and they're saying things that could be true and perhaps are never be true. Because, you see, people have an idea of what they are saying is true. Even me, I don't even backing up my statement. I just making statements perhaps that are true. And this is what everybody in Grenada, you talk about climate, they tell you, you tell them the right thing, yet they're against you. In fact, people have to analyze what somebody says. And think, that's what your education is for, to analyze and to fit you to live among your people. Thank you very much. I could say much more, you know.
Thank you, caller. Have yourself a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. Don't forget you can also drop a comment via the WhatsApp or the Facebook comment section. Let's go to the WhatsApp and see if we could grab some of the comments that is already individual already chimed in there. And we have one individual is saying, when will the Independence Committee get together? There will be public allowed to give suggestions, or is it going to be a closed committee? There's only approximately 5 months available to spend $7 million. And he also saying, I think this other part of the comment that he's saying is referring to individuals who are talking about the education. He's saying that tell the caller that we are not following the British education system because the British teaches more than one language in their schools. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a number if you want to get on to the point this morning. It's an open line for us this morning, folks. Yes, call in, share your views, your concerns, and education seems to be the conversation that is dominating a wee bit this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Mr. Telesford, good morning. And
caller, before you continue, please lower your radio or whatever device in the background.
Radio. I turn it off. I turn it off completely.
Go right ahead, please.
I have a concern. It's not something that worries me, but it concerns me. A lot of our Grenada entities like Grenelec, National Lottery, and all such like advertise on WeFM. And that's their right. But my concern is, I'm wondering why the host of a program, I call it a dance program on morning 6:30, prohibit some people from making valuable contribution. Once you get the idea that you're talking about the good things that are happening in Grenada under this administration, he cut you off. I know where you're coming from. But it is a radio station, and everybody have a right to air their views, whether some of us like to hear it or not. So this is my concern, and if that's how he's going to get on with people or with callers who he don't like, or he figure speaking for a particular, let's say a party, well, some of those entities in Grenada have to do the right thing and stop advertise on WeFM. Have a good weekend, Mr. Telesford.
Good morning to you, caller. Once again, have yourself a great day also. Folks, we drew for a break. Let's take our first break in the program this morning, and we come back. More of your calls and more of your comments when we do come back. Stay with us.
Get ready, get set.
The National Lotteries Authority is a proud sponsor of many cultural activities within the trial state of Grenada.
My name is Anderson Matheson, also known as Leftis, and I'm a calypsonian and string band music player from Carrico. I support the games of the National Lottery Authority because culture benefits tremendously. Annually, the NLA supports the Carrico and Petit Matinee Carnival, the Carrico String Band Music Festival, and all regattas, among other activities. When I play the game of the NLA, I can see where my money goes, and it's an investment into our culture.
Yes, Grenada, when you play the games of the NLA, you enable us to invest in the skills and talents of our people in the areas of sports, culture, and nation building.
Now, it's considered to be one of the biggest threats to the world's oceans. Delegates from UN member states are gathering here to confront the problem of plastic pollution. The goal is to agree on a global...
If given a chance, your plastic would choose to be put to more beneficial use. Choose recycling.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. It's To The Point for today, Friday, the 15th of September. I'm your host, GT. Open line for To The Point for today. And your phone calls are welcome. If you're listening and you're viewing and you have, of course, a particular issue you would like to get across this morning, feel free to do so. 435-2041. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. GT. And how are you today?
Doing pretty well. What about you, man?
Yes. I want to make a little contribution, but it may not make a lot of sense for some of us. But what I'm saying is here. In Grenada here, we have a lot of training. People need employment and all these kind of a thing. We need to make a little change because we're working in a system, same system over and over, and it's not revolving in the right way. We need to get Grenada to a two-shift system. No, we can't work it 24/7, but we can work from 8 to 4. And a shift take over from 4 to 10. Because most Grenadians go to sleep around 12, whether they're working from set. So that shift taking over from 4 to 10. Half of the restaurants and all these things already, restaurant kitchen in Grenada close 9 o'clock. So we already have food, we have our food outside there. So then we got to get like maybe a bank to close at 6 or 5. We have to get a hardware to start opening until about 7 or 8. Start them with 2, 1 each, not the whole foods getting gradually. No, what I'm saying, they may say that it cannot work, but they are working, some things are working in other places, and I'm not talking from experience. I worked in South America for some years. I worked with a bauxite company called Billington. They work 3 shifts, but days are 24 hours. 3 shifts is at 24 hours. But the population is big. But because Grenada population is small, we can't work it to the 24, so we could work it halfway. No, for instance, if you don't know, you don't know. But from my experience there, we have bauxite in Grenada and we have gold in Grenada. But it's who knows. It's just like we have oil and somebody else got to cover it. From my experience, and people don't know, gold, we know it when it is in the, after they bring it to the stage of polishing and do all these things. But gold, when you're looking for gold, is that black stuff or a brown stuff? Gold is not shining in the original. And we have rivers here, so I know and I can see from experience is the people to walk it and know how to do it and get it. But we have gold here, we have a lot of other mineral here, but we don't have maybe what we call technology or the people that know about harvesting it. But Grenada, then the government, they need to sit down and change this country into a two-shift system and get, because there's a lot of people out there need jobs, there's a lot of training. For instance, when you come from work 4 o'clock, the things that you couldn't do while you're at work, you're going to do that. Like you want to go to the bank, you want to get something to fix your house, you want to do this. Same with the buses, they'll have to change. The same bus that taking the people from 4 o'clock to go home, that is the bus that's bringing down the people. Maybe let's say if a bus used to live Grenville with 6 people, to come down for the 4 o'clock people. When they leave Grenville, they come in with 12 now because that people going and take over the shift, the 4 o'clock shift, and the same bus taking the 4 o'clock shift to go back up. Changes. We need to cycle the thing. The government need to talk with the business.
I'm in total agreement with you, caller. Total agreement. I mean, if that could happen in the soonest of time, I will be happy for that. You know, sometimes it's kind of bothers me a whole lot when the place shut down. Most times 6:30, 7 o'clock, you could say Grenada is totally shut down, and we could have where are revolving in terms of how things work, it will be a whole lot better for Grenada.
Yeah, we can't do it in a 24 hours, but we could do it in a 2 shift because we don't have the population to do it in 24.
Suddenly hope someone in the administration, someone in authority is listening to this, and pretty soon we can hear things like that be implemented. Well, it's going to take a lot of getting used to from individuals, you understand, but it can happen if we really wanted to.
Because it's jobs. If they want to, I could sit down with them and give them some ideas. Sometimes when somebody give an idea, they take take a little piece, but if it's not working, you go back to the person and say, look, this is what is the next step? What is the next area we have to move
I'm in agreement with you. Thank you, caller.
Right, thank you.
Thank you so much. 435-2041. Great idea. Getting it started is another issue. Are we as a people ready for, of course, a society moving in that particular level? That's another conversation to take place there. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Good morning to you, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I just have a question for the first caller. Is it actually saying that if you don't support a political party, that the government resources should be used to boycott that entity that doesn't support the party based on their choices?
Well, I don't want to get into a back and forth about the caller what she said. You understand? I understand where you are coming from, and I understand where the caller is coming from. That's a conversation I don't want to be on here right now. All right. Have a good morning and thank you. 435-2041, 435-2041. And there's some comments via the Facebook comment section. We'll get to them. Antonio, that is a pretty lengthy comment you're making. I'll try to get to it shortly. It takes a lot time to be getting to read it, so I'll try to. Maybe you could just shorten it a wee bit. That's a whole lot of reading. 435-2041. My apology for having my phone off the hook if someone was trying to get through. He's now disengaged, so you could probably calling now. 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Phone line, caller, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Too many of us are Mr. Noel and Miss Noel. But we have to put things into practical settings. And that's the problem with us. We criticize and we have no alternatives. We fail to take people to do work which they have the skill to do, whether it be educational skill, social skill, or whatever skill it is. We fail to take them. We take people to do work whom we could manipulate. I don't even know what this word means. In fact, even I listen to programs and what announcers are saying or people who host this program, sometimes their gadgets are giving trouble and they push the fault on maybe the colors. Sometimes, we don't understand what is happening in the air. I don't know much, but there is something we call interference. And sometimes when they don't like to hear what you are saying, even if it is interest of a lot of people, it depends on the capacity. They cut you off, believing that you are saying wrong. That's my other contribution.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041, 435-2041, 435-2041. Let me see if you could grab some comments here from the comment section of the Facebook page this morning. And let's take this one from Antonio. Probably I could get into that one, not that lengthy. And Antonio is saying, I want to zeroing on Carriacou and PM, and I'm assuming it's PT Martinique, where we are seeing many developments being taken place. And now with the heat wave that everyone is witnessing, we saw a high blood pressure machine being placed for the people before the board. Before they board the Osprey. I think that's where the conversation is going. And who wishes to. Not forgetting the 19-seater that will be transporting its citizens from the mainland and other countries. Also, the many developments of the road infrastructure going on. Thanks to Honorable Tevin Andrew for his transformation theme. That's a comment there from Antonio that's on the Facebook page. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Is it an open line, sir?
Yes, it is open line.
Yes. Good morning, and how are you?
Not too bad. Go right ahead, please.
Great. I would like to get some information as it relates to the Molyneux Road project. All right? There are times when questions are asked, and it's so unfortunate that we in Grenada, we have a culture of politicization. We politicize everything. This has nothing to do with politics. I'm a citizen, and I want to know exactly what the government is doing with the Molyneux project. Okay? Thanks for listening, sir.
Have a good morning. Thank you. Well, I think it was on the news that last night or the night before, there was, of course, an interview with one of the the minister related, and he did give some information in terms of the progress that are soon to take place. And I said we're looking for a completion of the Molyneux project by January of 2024. If my information is correct about that, I could review it and probably pass it on a bit later. And when I probably take the break, I'll try to grab that information and throw it out for you. Good morning to you. We lost that caller there. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's a number if you want to get on to the point this morning. Open line this morning, which means feel free to give me that call. Express your views, your concerns pertaining to, of course, things that are relatively important to you, and you think you need to get it across. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, sir. Good morning to you.
First of all, right, statutory bodies don't belong to NNP or NDC. They belong to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique.
I agree.
Hereby,
I agree with you, sir.
Good. Mm-hmm. So there's a reason why God gave you 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nose, 2 hands, and 2 feet, and 1 mouth. So you gotta be careful when you say that little mouth of yours. Don't let this host of this program make you stupid. My second point I want to make is that in health. Now, the previous government had this body in place where they say they're going to use that body to figure out if you can come up with some health insurance or health tax or health levy. They go wrong for a couple of years with that. They beat it around. Nothing ever happened. Well, and this is say they might try to look into that and see how they can get things moving there. I haven't seen anything moving in that area as yet. But I'm saying that I believe the tax wouldn't really work. I believe the insurance definitely wouldn't work in this country. Okay? People don't want to pay nothing in this country. So telling people that they can pay insurance, health insurance, I don't think that will work at all. And you can't have people that just walk in, carry the whole system. So I think, well, I had a levy on current bill, water bill, internet, and rum, cigarette. And when I do my maths, roughly about 6,000 homes in this country are paying about $5,000 on a bill. It's about $900,000 a month. If you charge on cigarette and on rum, you can reach up to a cool $1 million plus a month. You can be collecting on that levy every month. Hence that you can fix up this Sutter's medical station, make it comfortable, put all the equipment there, and have doctors hire more doctors, get more nurses. We just sometimes shoot ourselves in our own foot. Because, we have this thing and them crumbling under our foot. And our people are crying out, they say health is so bad, which I do believe is not that bad, because, if it's free, you can't want something else. Once it's free, it must be in a kind of way. Even in America, where you pay for it, it's in a kind of way. So basically, if it's free, it must be worse. But it's not that bad. We're still on a good level, but I just say that we can make it better and make our people happier. So when they go in there, they can come out better than how they go in. Have a nice day, brother.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution. 435-2041. Let's go over to the WhatsApp. Check out some of the comments there. And one individual via the WhatsApp is saying, what the caller is saying about opening hours, I agree with this in only certain areas that will work. Supermarkets, gas station. And it's time that the banks open later. I guess that's in conversation individual calling about, a different change in the shift system in terms of things work here on Island, and that some seem to be in some agreement in some aspects of it. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number if you want to be part of To The Point this morning. Open line here on Classic Radio GBN TV. Good morning to those of you via the Facebook page, the YouTube channels. Good morning. Thanks for being with us this morning, and certainly hope all is well with you out there. And it's moved up to 25 minutes or so before the top of the hour this morning. Before we entertain another caller that is coming, let's take that break, and we'll be coming right back. Stay with us here on To The Point.
Mention the wing then you have things like man, you must come back, We have the low power that.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake, I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
Coming up on Caribbean Passport, the best young athletes from across the Commonwealth, all in one place? That's right. A regional banks initiative is demonstrating the power to make a difference. Healthy cooking, empowering climate change, and drastic love for Antigua and Barbuda. It's all next on this station.
Party in sport is back. CPL and WCPL return with more action than ever before.
Are you kidding me?
Watch the biggest names in cricket battle it out in the race for glory.
Brilliantly. Celebrate some more.
Get your tickets now at cplt20.com or at the box office. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenlec, and Hard On Plus.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. It's to the point for today, Friday, the 15th of September. Open line this morning, which means you are free to give me that call, 435-2041. That's a number. You could also add it to your WhatsApp contact list and also send me a message via the WhatsApp. Only your messages will be accepted via the WhatsApp, please. Will not be able to entertain the calls. So a lot of folks are calling in via the WhatsApp, but unable to take calls via WhatsApp. But you could also call me via the telephone line, 435-2041. There's also the option of sending making a comment, I should say, via the, of course, Facebook comment section. Feel free to do so. Let's take a comment via the WhatsApp this morning, and someone is saying, could you encourage, I guess they're asking me to throw this out, could you encourage the agriculture department to train agricultural workers so that farmers can get workers to clear their lands properly? Farmers are willing to pay for themselves. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, good morning, Judy.
How are you doing this morning?
Good.
All right. Would you mind lowering that radio or television in the background, please? Slow it down, please. Lower it, please.
Yeah, GT.
All right, go right ahead, please.
Yes, I'm calling concerning what is the latest on the traffic light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to get
what's the latest on the traffic lights? Well,
yeah,
I haven't heard anything from any department pertaining to when it will be up and operational. It's been up a couple of months now. Haven't heard anything lately.
Okay.
So the Hope our News department could probably look into that, get in contact with the department that is would be relative concern to that, and get some final information in terms of when it'll be up and running officially.
All right then.
All right.
Yeah. You have a nice day.
You too. Have a good morning yourself. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number. If you want to get on to the point this morning, you probably have, of course, a comment you'd like to make or a concern that you would like to share. Feel free to do so. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
My concern is for about a month now.
Yes.
The road on Tyrrell Street has been broken. That is close to the entrance of Green Street. And nothing has been done. I don't know if there is things in the works to get it done, but it's creating a hazard and traffic. This is a main street in St. George's, and I think the Ministry of Works and the MIT should look into that as soon as possible.
Yes, caller. Certainly understand. Certainly someone is hearing your complaint this morning, and certainly hope they will look into that as soon as possible.
You know that road, right?
I certainly do know.
And you pass there?
All the time. All right. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. It's an open line this morning. We're going back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome. Good morning to you, caller. Caller, good morning. I guess that individual.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
One moment, please. Right. Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I don't want to sound alarmist, but I'm observing a very important economic dynamic in our country. I don't know if you have an opportunity in your own village or community to have observed the number of deaths that occurred so far for the year. And if you weigh that against the number of births in that same locale, in some communities where I've asked folks, the number of deaths are probably 4 or 5 times the number of births.
Mm-hmm.
And if you extrapolate that on the national level, it means that our population is shrinking and shrinking rapidly. The schools, the enrollment is going down. There was some threat of some schools closing and everything like that. So what is happening now is that the whole market in Grenada is shrinking. So if you have something to sell, goods or whatever it is, services, you have fewer people to sell these things to over time. And another worrying part of that dynamic with the shrinking population is that if you look at the people who are adding to the population, who are contributing to the population, it's shrinking, but we have them births still. If you look at where the births are coming, they are coming from people in the lower socioeconomic strata of the society, which means that the burden to assist these people and their children is becoming greater. So you have a shrinking middle class. The people who can afford to have children are having fewer children or no children at all. And they have the spending power. They have more spending power. And if they have children, their children will have more spending power. They're not having many children. But those who are unable to support families are the ones who are having children. So it means you have a shrinking population that can pay taxes and can have spending power, and an increasing number of people who are dependent on those taxes. And so, I don't know if you understand the dynamic I'm talking about.
I'm getting the direction that you're going at. I'm getting the direction that you're going at.
This is very, very worrying. It is very worrying. So we'll notice that probably the GDP will eventually be declining because there's less consumption. But we would also find that the taxes are going to be less, that there are fewer people to pay tax. And the burden to take care of the social services and the social safety net burden will become greater. So I think we are heading for what you call a perfect storm in a negative sense. And I hope that the policymakers are alert to this thing and we find some way of trying to change that dynamic. I don't know, you can force people to have children, and neither can you stop those who are not able to sustain them from having, but we need a population. But I think that these things are both going in the wrong direction. Were you saying something?
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking about what you're saying. You know, I was just going to make a joke, but then you can't encourage people not to die. You understand?
Well, you cannot tell. But you notice too that we're having a high rate of.
Yes, I understand that. I mean, using folks even in the younger age also.
At a younger age, so the mortality rate is also increasing. The life expectancy is becoming less. So I don't know if the planners and the social people and the health people are looking at this, but I see this as a problem we may have in about 10 years or so.
I'm still seeing it. You still have he put it a short margin. I still see it more than that, but time will certainly tell. Something will make a turn and things will turn different. I foresee that.
I just hope that the policymakers are aware and they do whatever they can do at that level.
Thank you for your contribution this morning. 435-2041. I certainly do understand where the caller is coming from. Lots of dying, and then we having less births, and he's trying to say also folks who are having children. A lot of you may not agree with what he said there, but he said that a lot of individuals who are having children are in the low economic strata, so they will become a bit of a dependent on society a wee bit more than individuals who will make children and are able to take care of them, and less dependent on government and so forth to take care. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Yes, good morning. So calling back a second time. But I want to support Mr. Bernard there. And he is so right. I pointed out this thing for quite a number of years. And that's the reason why you will find me talking about the economy, growing the economy to take care of those things. Now, he's saying it is worrisome, it is serious, and we should look at this thing very, very, very critically. The government have a work on its hand. And sometimes when we talk about the economy, growing the economy, sometimes people think you're thinking personal. No, I saw this thing coming for quite some time, and I discussed it. As a matter of fact, I wrote the Ministry of Education many, many years on the subject. You see? So what Mr. Bernard is saying there, don't take this lightly. It's reality. We are technically shutting down, sir.
All right.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Let's grab some of the comments from the Facebook page this morning, and we have one from Sonia. She's saying people aren't making much children anymore, and yes, the caller is right about that. Grenada is getting underpopulated, and that's in her opinion there. And let's grab another comment via the Facebook page, and this one is saying, GT, good morning. Health. We know that things may go wrong despite the best efforts of healthcare workers. However, when things go wrong due to negligence or malpractice, where does the buck stop? In Grenada, nobody is responsible or held accountable, and she wants to know why. Let's go back to the phone line. Sorry, caller who's calling. I would not be able to accommodate your call. I did mention in the initial stages of the program, when you're calling, please lower your radio. I understand you're probably listening at home and you want to get in on the conversation, but please make sure your radio or television is low or turned off completely. When you finish your conversation, you can call back. You can put it back up, as I would say. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome. Caller, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
Very interesting comment from the previous caller about 2 ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't agree with him.
Tell me your reasons.
You see, we do not have what they call a grain population. We don't. We probably have a lower birth rate than we would have done in any generation or any decade up to this point in time. But we don't have a grain population the way countries in Europe, the way Japan has. Secondly, our population remains extremely useful. The proportion of people who are under 35, under 36, or under 40 remains significant. And however, we have failed to find jobs for these people. The immigration market, the US, the UK, and so on, these places have shriveled up, right? In fact, we're exporting them, the cultivated criminals back to us, and so on. So it is a different kind of a ballgame. It is not surprising, however, that we probably have a lower birth rate principally because of the expansion of the educational system. Principally because of that. In fact, we have a situation now where you don't even need to do what we old people will call common entrance. Once you reach a particular age, you move into the secondary school system. And because you have a better educated and a higher educated population, you're going to find that the birth rate is going to go down. This has happened in practically every single country in the world. How do we address what we have at this point in time? We have to look first and foremost, and look at the past 50 or so years. Has the educational system changed fundamentally? Do we have more skill emphasis in our schools? Do we have more entrepreneurial kinds of things in our schools? In other words, to a certain extent, the economy or the thinking of people as regards the economy is the same way it was in colonial times and 50 years ago. People leave school expecting somebody to give them a job. People are not leaving school intending to do their own thing, create their own thing, make their way in the world, right? And we have to look at that. If we are going to cater for the young people now and those to come, no matter how few they are, we have to better prepare them to take care of themselves and not to burden the state to them. The other angle of it has to do with re-education, if you want to call it that, re-education or continuous education for those who are wrong. If you look again, or you look at the examples are there, they are out there. What do you do when you get a growing population? You extend the working life of people, you re-educate them. Massive programs for re-education. But I think there's enough for now. My 10 cents. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. And we did have a caller speak on that in terms of, the way individuals are being educated these days. They need to be to change the process in which it's done, so folks to do something different than the norm. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yeah. We're not looking at one thing. The population of Grenada, as you said, I think it's 100,000. I don't know if it's more or less now, but a couple of years ago, we failed to realize that a lot of our people are not in this country. They left. They went to the United States, England, Canada, wherever. So what we're doing is we are educating people to leave. So the population will get smaller on the mainland. We're not looking at that. And worst of all, our people outside are not coming back. So this is what has to be addressed. And I don't know if anybody's thinking of that. When we train our people here in IT, they go away. They don't stay here because they can't get a job. Well, the population would decrease. And when they go away and they get a job and they don't make some money, they don't come back. And that's a very serious problem. So the matter of having children, that will take care of itself as far as I'm concerned. But the matter of having our people leaving the country, the brain drain, that's a problem.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041, approximately 10 minutes left on today's program. We still have the option of you calling in, sharing your concerns via the telephone, 435-2041. You can also send make a comment via the Facebook page, the WhatsApp. You can also send a message there, and we'll go to the WhatsApp. No one has sent a message there since the last one we had. Lots of comments via the Facebook page, 435-2041. That's a number you can call. And let's take a peek at some of the comments. And we have a comment from Sonia. She's saying it's a new generation of people now. Very little jobs, and young people want their freedom. Yes, that's another one of her opinion there. And Harry is saying I look for someone to help me out with some chicken feed. Yeah, I want to do chicken for myself and to help myself. All right, let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Pleasant good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
No, I need to be corrected here. There was a shooting incident in Lansapine. To my knowledge, I think the police is supposed to be investigating that matter. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct.
But then I heard something about the DPP will intervene or what. I don't know if I'm using the right word or I'm thinking the right way. I find this is strange. I'm no legal luminary, but I find that. Would you be able to give me some explanation, please?
Well, from my understanding from the last press briefing that the police had, one of the, of course, the police officers, they did make the statement that they have sent the report to the DPP for his determination of how to proceed. I think that's where they was trying to say. All right.
Well, if that is a procedure, I don't know, but I was thinking that this is a police job. I was led to think that maybe some prominent person involved in this and, just switch around. I could be very wrong, but I don't know. I find that kind of procedure is not the kind that, my common sense tells me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So also 435-2041, 435-2041. I'll be moving up 7 minutes before the top 10. We wrap the program up at 10 o'clock. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Yes, to help the last caller, this is a procedure. I mean, the DDP could say, no way. I mean, I don't have enough because in the case of the briefcase, while people thought that the government at the time to press on charges or so, according to the information I was able to gather, the DDP was unable to be convinced that if the case is taken to the court, that it could stand the light of day. So sometimes the DDP has to get more information. I'm not defending the DDP, but that is what I've had dealing with the court myself.
Yeah.
So that's the procedure.
Yeah.
Different arms of the state have different responsibilities. The police have the right to have the responsibility to gather the information and to suggest and to give the facts and let the DDP determine what will happen. That is different when you have minor situations. In a situation like that, the DDP has to make the determination. And GT, just give me one more minute. Go
right ahead, please. Go right ahead.
And earlier on, somebody said, all right, that on the question of the Independent Celebrations Committee, I will agree that we need to know more and it has to be more inclusive and expansive. But at the same time, an erroneous statement was made by that caller that says we only have about 5 months to spend $7 million. This is not truth. The thing about, according to what was discussed in Parliament, the money will be for the celebration throughout the year, from September to the end of next year. So we have to be truthful when we communicating, especially if we are politically inspired. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you also. Thank you very much for your contribution. 435-2041. Let's take another comment. We have this one from Allison is saying, Grenadians have to be willing to work hard and build up Grenada. It is not all about the little man and the top government. People have to look for good investors, and Grenadians must know that all work matters to build a country. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning, GT.
Good morning,
Great show. Excellent show today and during the week. And that's a beautiful set of beads you are wearing there. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Have a good morning. 435-2041. We have 4 minutes before we wrap today's program. 435-2041. I still can accommodate a call or two if it comes really quickly. And if the individuals are willing to express whatever they have to express in a quick manner. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Quickly, GT, about the shooting incident. It is not every shooting incident that requires an arrest, especially if it's not a fatal incident. There are a number of things you have to look at. Was the gun being used a licensed firearm? I mean, if somebody shoots with an unlicensed firearm, well, immediately you have a charge. So, but if the person who discharged the firearm had a license to operate that firearm, there is not a charge for that.
All right.
The incident itself, was it in self-defense? Was it provoked? So these are all the things. That's why the DPP has to study the case.
And then comes up with a determination how we move forward.
Make a determination. If it's a fatal shooting, well, that's a different matter. If it's an unlicensed firearm, then again, that's a different thing. But if it's a case where there is no fatality, the firearm is licensed, there's a lot more work to be done to determine what or who to be charged.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We have just about 2 minutes left before we wrap this morning. Let me see if I can take another comment from the WhatsApp on Facebook. But let's take a caller first. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yes, G, good morning.
Good morning to you.
I just want to, as usual, encourage our Grenadians to realize that the seasons, we don't look biblically, but according to biblical prophecy, we are in the end times. And a lot of things that the Word of God said is happening. The turmoil all over the world, the violence, the earthquakes, all the things that are happening are all predicted to happen in the last days. So I want to encourage people, eternity has no end. And when you leave the world, you enter into eternity. So choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. But the prophet said, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Because when you serve the Lord, when you surrender to Christ, when you repent of sin and acknowledge Christ, you're guaranteed life eternal. But all the things we are doing here is temporary. We do not know when death is going to come. We do not know how death will come. So be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Lord can come. And if he didn't come and you die, make sure your repentance provide you with a safe eternity. Thank you, and God bless Grenada.
Thank you, caller. Have yourself a great day and a great weekend to come. Hey, folks, that's where we take a wrap for today's program. And thanks all who contributed in some way or the other, whether it's by your phone calls, your messages. Thank you so much for being part of To The Point for today. And it's the final one for the week. And join us again next week for more editions of To The Point. Have yourself a great day, folks. That's why I say goodbye. All the best, and be good to yourself and others. Goodbye.